Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us a moral framework. The moral dilemma. Allah states, أَفَرَأَيْتَ مَنِ اتَّخَذَ إِلَهَهُ هَوَى. We're going to talk about this word framework. We have a framework, and the framework is Al-Islam. We'll talk about that. Others, do they have a framework? What is the framework? What's the standard of that framework? What's the litmus test with regards to the framework? أَفَرَأَيْتَ مَنِ اتَّخَذَ إِلَهَهُ هَوَى. That's the main important part. Have you seen the one who has taken his God, his own desire? Whatever I feel, it's about your feeling. What makes you feel good? If it makes you feel good, go ahead. YOLO, you only live once, etc. أَفَرَأَيْتَ مَنِ اتَّخَذَ إِلَهَهُ هَوَى. Have you seen the one who has taken his God? He worships this God. What is this God? This God here legislates for him. This God is his desire. When someone comes along and asks and says, but why does Islam have an issue with Ahmed and Hamza being together? I don't see any issue. Love is love. So what if the guy wants 7 wives? What if this woman, she just dresses as she wishes, etc.? Why is this morally wrong and this ethically impermissible, etc., etc.? We say to this person here, in a way, you are questioning Islam. Yes, you are questioning Islam. But have you questioned yourself with regards to where did you get your morals and ethics from? Where did you get your morals and ethics from, Jade? It's very easy to think that, this is due to deep reflection or maybe some scientific result or something of the sort. No. Most of the time it is due to whatever you've absorbed from the society around yourself, Jayid. If a person lived in Nazi Germany, most likely the person might have been an anti-Semitic. Right? You lived 50, 60, 70 years ago in Nazi Germany, so people were like against the Jews, and you might have felt, that's the norm. Everybody's against the Jews. I'm from South Africa. If a person lived maybe 50 years ago in apartheid South Africa, many people would have 100% believed, maybe we lived during that period, we would have 100% believed that for a black man to marry a white woman is immoral. It's immoral, it's completely outright wrong. It's not allowed, it's impermissible, not impermissible, it's morally and ethically wrong. Why would they believe that? Because that was the environment that they lived in, right? And so when you are questioning Islam on these matters, etc., the question begs, where are you getting your compass with regards to ethics and values? You are getting it from Netflix, you are getting it from the newspaper, you are getting it from social media, you are being programmed, you are being fed all of this here. It's based upon public opinion, Jayid. As the waves move, then you also move with that. As the verse states, the one who took his desire as a God, desire goes this way, you go that way, desire goes that way, you go the opposite direction, Jayid. What is allowed, Jayid? Who decides? If for example somebody comes along and says, you know what, that Satanist, Jayid, I worship the devil and this is my right, and I think this is good, and this is how I identify, and I also want to have a free reign with regards to kids, and I want to introduce them to this matter. Somebody else comes along and says, no, I'm a nudist, I like to walk around naked, etc. And so this is my right, I just want to walk around naked, this is my haq, I'm not hurting anyone, etc. Then 2 brothers come along, and they say that we want to have a relationship with one another. We were twins in the womb together, and so we're not harming anyone, we're not hurting anyone. We want to be in a sexual relationship with one another. We love each other, 2 sisters, mother and son, father and daughter. Where do you draw the line? You know that in Germany, in the last 6 months, there was some professor at university, he wrote a research paper arguing for the decriminalization of pedophilia. Right? He says because it's happening. He says it's happening, and so we need to legislate just like how we did for prostitution. Guy, girl, they agree, payment, no problem, we shouldn't get involved. And say maybe there's a kid and he wants to be with this guy or with this girl or whatever it might be, and if they're both consensual in the matter, and if we know about the matter, this will regulate the whole matter. Same argument with regards to abortion. Let's regulate the industry, etc., etc. Who decides? Where do you draw the line? Guy wants to be with the dead corpse, so we allow that also? Where do you draw the line, Jay? It's all based on popular demand. It's not based on any foundation, Jayid. It's about maximizing pleasure, etc., etc. And that's why they've legalized homosexuality, prostitution, abortion, adultery. But imagine, in almost all of these countries, you having a second legal wife is illegal. You can go to jail because you have married a second woman. Look at the irony in that. You can have 100 girlfriends, sleep around, hire a woman for 24 hours, hire a guy for 3 hours, but a nikah, a marriage where you will look after rights and responsibilities, that is impermissible. So the point is, there's no consistency. There's no framework, right? It's whatever popular opinion on the time, on the day. Why should one identify oneself based upon their sexual preference? So the whole thing is now, all of this here, it's because I like another woman, so I'm lesbian. That's my identity. I'm gay, I like another guy. That's my identity. So it's not only now my preference story, but that's how I identify myself with people. Somebody likes guns. So is he like walking around, you know, like I'm the gun man or something of the sort, Jayid? Somebody likes blondes. So, I mean, do we categorize society into blonde loving people, biryani loving people? I mean, as somebody in Australia, and there were like articles about this with regards to veganism. It's almost like becoming a religion with some people, that you are looked down, you know, you're eating meat, you need to hide and eat meat, Jayid. I saw a billboard in Melbourne somewhere that fish are also people. Fish are also people. Think twice before you take a life. Are you with us, Jayid? Jayid? So you can never be surprised that in 20 years from now, that eating meat is criminalized in certain places, Jayid. Because that's what popular opinion states at that time, Jayid. Do we categorize people into other preferences? We have so many. We have a sexual preference. Somebody likes somebody tall, somebody likes somebody short, this color, that color, blonde, that, bored, this, that, etc. But we don't, for everything else, don't categorize people into all of these things, Jayid. Why this sexual preference becomes the identity marker, and everything must revolve around this matter here. It becomes a marker of one's lifestyle, etc. And if you don't agree with my sexual preference, then automatically you are discriminating against my identity. Mushkila, Jayid. We go back at the end bi'idhnillahi ta'ala and we say that we have a framework, and the framework is Islam. And so before you question Islam, question yourself. Where are you getting your morals and ethics from? This question is originating from where? What are the foundation for this question? Because there's no framework. Why not brother and brother? Why not man and dog? Why not? There are those who say it's fine. So why do you draw the line somewhere? We have a framework, and our framework is Al-Islam, Jayid. And also with that person who says, but this is a burden on my shoulder, and how can Allah put this, it's unfair, and all of this here, we say the reality is that all of us have struggles in this life, and this is life. It is a test. The guy who says that, you know, I just love women, 4 is not enough for me. It's a jihad. He is honest. He said, wallahi, it's a jihad for me to just have 4 women. I want more. I have to have more. I want, but that's all that's allowed for you, brother. Jayid? He say, but I'm born like this. Let's say we found, you know, the fantasy gene that supposedly, you know, you are born like this. Even if we found something like that, right? See, there's people who are born Down syndrome. Somebody is born with autism. Somebody is born with an illness. Everybody has a test. We are living in dar of test. The dar where there's no test is the hereafter. Didn't the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, or rather Jibreel say, that when he looked at Jannah and looked at Jahannam, he said, Jannah, the pathway to Jannah is full of difficulties and struggles and striving and tough times and all of this. I feel that nobody is going to go there. Jayid? And then when you looked at Jahannam, it is littered with all of the temptations and this and the desires and all of that. I feel that people are just going to fall into Jahannam. It is a test. It is a test, Jayid. Also, we say to this brother that you are struggling, Allah make it easy for you. You are struggling with this inclination and you have not acted upon it. We do not condemn the feeling. You will not be sinful for having that feeling. Many people have different feelings and many people have different inclinations. But in fact, this might be a great jihad for you. Like there are many jihads for others. Somebody is addicted to drugs. He said, I cannot manage. Do we just go ahead because, khalas, his chemical makeup is that he needs that drug. Do we just give it to him, khalas, destroy yourself, etc.? No. It's a test, it's a struggle. And many have different struggles and different tests. And that day is probably your jihad bi'ithnillahi ta'ala. And remember, whoever leaves something for the sake of Allah, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant you better